Hey everyone, Nicola Light here. Remember us all back into the light. The subject today is a very touchy subject for many of us. It's all about dentists and our wonderful wisdom teeth. I'm going to tap into the energy of this. As a result of me having my wisdom teeth out at the age of 17, all of them, all in one go, it impacted on my teeth. And this is why I'm here in England having some dental work, which I'm not going to go too much in detail. We can find out more information that on my Patreon, by the way. But as a result of all of those wonderful teeth being taken out, because I was getting pain in my jawline, it's impacted on these beautiful babies that are in my mouth. And it's a wonderful subject, but not when you've lost them and when we're going through pain of wisdom teeth. Now, why is that? So I want to tap into my higher self, get some light codes in there so we get some remembrance of why it's very important to do your work around your jawline. Because as the wisdom teeth sit in the back of the mouth, anchoring the teeth in, what is it, if you took those teeth out, what is it that you can do energetically, and how we can sort of move ourselves forward into really opening up that throat and helping the body push through that energy that may sit as pain within the wisdom teeth area. Okay, let's just check in with higher self and see the ins and outs of, this dentist work and how much impact it has within our energy. Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to tap in and ask that question. And if there's an answer, it will come from me. It will come from me. There is points of contact and focus and point of reference that I can look into. But what is it that I'm telling myself about this? Okay, thank you. Lalagyan na tari si mambaba sumakiatam. It is a highly sensitive tablet to swallow. It is sour in the taste. And it is sweet upon the tongue, as there are many influences from outer sources that have created the sense of the wisdom of the tooth to be extracted from the mouth. This sets about an emotional response within the emotional body as the energy of the teeth satisfies the gut when we are talking and seeing with a wide smile that these wonderful pearly whites are overly pearly white sometimes, aren't they? No judgment there, but there was, but let's just move past that. Thank you. It is when we smile that we enter into the showing of the teeth. It is a widening of the smile that as the mouth expresses itself from a facial perspective, the honoring of the teeth is seen. When we speak and when we touch with our tongue the back of the teeth itself, we see a resonance of the connection to the teeth and all that we are, as the teeth strands of energy run throughout the whole of the body, especially in the head unit, of course. Sets in the head unit, teethy pegs, lines up to all the meridian lines. And the wisdom within this jawline as we speak, as we hear, as we breathe, all of this is connected to throat chakra. So if we enter into the realms of extraction of our wisdom, then the line of energy that runs through the meridian lines then affect the throat and into the heart. And within the heart, it affects our emotion about losing that of teeth. It taps also into what I'm being shown here, the ancestral lines of remembrance of past relationships with maybe our grandparents, maybe losing their teeth, or mother, father. And with those dentistry, beautiful acts of extraction, creates a trait within ourselves of seeing that, oh, that's going to come to me also. Now, I remember my granddad sort of have no teeth and used to move his dentures up and down, and it would impact in me. And then my mum lost her teeth, and then I was starting to lose my teeth and having lots of trouble, you know, with the wisdom teeth as I was starting to really show that energy that was sitting in the back of my jaw. That impacted on me. It majorly impacted in that journey and the disposal and extraction of the teeth. Yeah. And I'm sure many of you out there would have these issues with the energy that is running through, that is showing as pain in these back regions of the wisdom teeth. Okay, let's continue. Thank you. Kianadarisimo kola bakiatan tog ala su bakiatarisio makiatan mababasimo koshma. It is almost like cutting off a finger. It is to that extremity that the body then sees it within its system of a missing element. If you let go of a thumb, it's exactly the same as letting go of a wisdom tooth. It is that extreme. It really is that extreme. But you would carry on regardless using your fingers, but you would need to manipulate the energy or picking up of a pen in a different way. So you would pick a pen up that way rather than picking up a pen this way because of the missing digit. So because we extract the teeth through, the different teeth would then take on a different practice or a different way of working. So the molars, the premolars, etc. But as you lose teeth from, say, the back because of the wisdom tooth loss, you're then going to move into a different section of then compounding on that next tooth and into the next tooth and into the next tooth. That sense of that connection is like the fingers will start to move like a thumb, maybe. Compensating is the word. Okay. And then the body has to then compensate for the loss of the wisdom teeth that then impacts in the energetic flowing systems. Okay. But it also impacts into the mental body with the wisdom teeth extracted, because then the mental body then actually sees it, that there is an issue, that there is an issue with the loss and the gums and the bone structure and all that. And so that we start to see the body start to deteriorate within the oral region of, you know, of our journey with our teeth. So at birth we have no teeth, or many do not, some do, but many do not have teeth when they are born. And it is that point of that focus that everything is coming and rising up to the surface as the baby is born. The teeth rise with it, and then as you then start to then move into the adult body, or thereabouts adult body, the body start to shift into different alignments with the teeth, as there's a different impact on the energy flow that's running through the system. But as we get slightly longer in age, linear age, that we have been upon the planet, then that starts to shift with the impact of what it is that we do to our body, what it is that we eat within our body. How do we align that energy to you know, the intake, the influx, and the learning, the belief system of ancestral traits and understandings. Okay, thank you. So getting down to the nitty-gritty of it all is that the wisdom teeth are there to anchor in your wisdom. And where is the wisdom being held? It is being held within your gut, moving down to the lower body, into the heel for the soul. And the soul resides into the foot. And as we heal, we anchor everything into the journey, into the ankle. So we anchor the energy down the leg. Obviously, this is not a leg, this is an arm. Down to the ankle, into the heel for the healing journey, to embody, to the soul. And the sole of the foot moves, excuse me, to the digits, the toes. And what the toes does, it toes the line. toes the line into being human. It toes the whole body down into the beingness. The toe, the big toe, is like the thumb, and that is like the wisdom tooth. If you didn't have balance within the toe, stay with me with this, if you didn't have balance within the toe, just like a thumb, you compensate with your balance. So if you lost the tooth and then you have an issue with the toe, it's all very linked within the meridian lines, apparently. Thank you. Da giano doze bekianta olokon molosh batetene etwa sumokolo bagiatam bababisimokolo kush batetin akiatam. So the energy runs down the jawline, down into the heart, moving down the central column of light, splitting the hips, down front of the body line to the toe, past the soul's journey, and then bringing in the wisdom into the toe. And it is that big toe, the big toe, the big toe. So if the toes start to wiggle, then that is the connection to that of thumb. Rule of thumb into toe in the line is the rejection of wisdom within the tooth. So the tooth, they're just showing me patterns here of energy, so bear with. So from the wisdom of the tooth, which is named, it is a named perspective, to the thumb, which is here, which is an extension of heart, moving down the body to the toe. So this is all relevant. Right? So you've got lower body, upper body, into the jawline, for you to rise up into the third eye connection. So it's this sort of, this feeling of the energy that is dismantling, because the wisdom is cut off here. You're not rising up into the wisdom. Oh, you're not rising up into wisdom. It's quite shocking, isn't it, that within our society that we take out the wisdom teeth. And it was interesting the other night as I was sort of healing through this journey of this work that's been done, and I was feeling into it. Is like our ancestors way back would never have had any dentist work to get rid of their wisdom teeth. They would have just pushed through the energy with their breath, and then would have shot the energy up through the connection to the universe to get their wisdom, and once they've actually moved through that, then they move into being wise ones, wise women, wise men, magicians. But society took away that power by taking away our wisdom teeth, which prevents the energy rising up to the crown and beyond. Now that's and that literally on that video there, it was 1313 as I spoke that. You know, we can go into conspiracy and all of the negative perspectives of all of this that I speak of here. And, you know, believe you me, I've sort of worked through my own journey of this trauma within myself about losing these some back teeth here. And the impact of metal fillings, you know, amalgam fillings, that I've had quite a few taken out, and I've lost teeth because of the fillings. So not only was bombarded with a new influx of sugar and sweeties as kids, and you know what kids are like, eating lots of sweeties, but we also then got fillings to fill in the teeth with metal, okay, poisoning the body, taking out the wisdom teeth. How many star seeds, light workers, have been shut down because they could not ignite themselves up to the greater knowing? How many people do you see that are walking around with big gaps in their teeth? You know, and all of this is going on. How do we compensate for this, you may ask? And this is a very, very interesting point of view, because when I had my teeth taken out, which was quite some time ago now, and I've sort of worked through the journey of that, is that I asked my higher self, well, how can I move that energy through without knowing too much information on it? I had a sort of an inkling within it. And what I did is that I set up within my mouth a grid work of connection to esoteric teeth. No joke, esoteric teeth. And within it, within each loss, so within the wisdom teeth, you structure yourself a grid work within your mouth of the connection to each individual tooth that you may have lost. And then that strengthens the energetic flow. So although you may not have a physical tooth there in your head, okay, in your mouth, in your head, in your mouth, you'll have an esoteric one which then runs the energy through. So it's like having an esoteric thumb or a esoteric toe. You start to balance things out, but you balance it in an esoteric, energetic way so that you reconnect the energy to the emotional body and the mental field as well. So if you have gone through that journey of losing some teeth, and your wisdom teeth indeed, don't despair at the fact that you have. Yes, physically you're going to miss that that eating capability, but from my perspective of my own journey, I've reconnected the energy lines to those teeth into the jawline where the missing teeth are. And I've had some work done here into the bone structure. I'm being very open and honest here because this is a really touchy subject within me. And so I've been doing lots of work within this with the dentist, but working with it very energetically, very, very energetically. And when I've had some work done, I had my esoteric team around me, my galactic team around me, working my energies and running the energy through. The other subject within dentist work, moving on from wisdom teeth, is that we hold trauma in the body by the extraction. So it's really important whilst you're in that chair, if you're holding that fear of dentist work, move the energy through your body. You can do that by going in the dentist chair and literally just taking off your shoes and letting your toes wiggle, by purposely, intentionally running the energy all the way down the body, through down into the hip, gathering up the energy with fear and move it out of the feet. Now, it sounds absolutely crazy, but it really works. My dentist said he has never known anybody that's actually did the work that I've done by actually just sitting there like that. Most people would be squirming, and I just went into deep meditation. And just let me know on the comments if you're still with me. How do you actually deal with dentist work? Do you actually struggle with it, or do you move through the journey of it by observing, coming slightly out of the body, so you can actually deal with that sense of manipulation when they sort of get in there and do all of these wonderful procedures, but not? And it's interesting because my higher self always comes through as barbaric. It's so barbaric, so barbaric. And so she complains about the whole thing. And yes, this has happened. This has happened within my body. This has probably happened in many of your bodies. And some of you out there may have no feelings whatsoever and never experienced any problems with your teeth. And that may be not within your blueprint, ancestral line, or any of it. But however it is that we are, whether we're actually missing a thumb, missing anything within the physical body, just know that you can compensate with it with an energetic pulse, an esoteric alignment, so that if you're missing a finger or top of a finger, then extend the energy down so that esoterically the body is complete. So emotionally, you're completing that energy flow. Mentally, you're completing the energy flow. Push the energy out of the fingers. If you're getting a little bit of trauma with a missing digit, push the energy through. And it's many times that people spoken about amputation, that they still feel the pain as if the leg is still there. It's because the energy field is not complete and it's not run to the esoteric foot regardless if the leg has been amputated or not. It's quite a very delicate subject, this one, but it's coming full force through me from higher self to speak about this. So if you on a dentist journey, if you're thinking about having your wisdom tooth done or any sort of extraction of the body at all, just know that there are things that you can do energetically. You must always trust your intuition about what it is that you need to do for your own journey. Whether you do choose to have your teeth taken out or not, just know that there is that backup system that you can really tap into your energy of really aligning the energy to the teeth with the mental body and the emotional body to help move that energy through the physical body itself without being detrimental to the connection to your inner light wisdom. I think I'm going to write I don't think, I know that I'm going to write a chapter on this in my new book. It's it's going to be called a perception of reality, and these choice points that we make within our experience has a consequence, and if these actions are taken, there's always something that we can back spiral into to course correct the energy. So don't worry that if you have had that done. I did regret. You've got to work through that vibration of regret. You've got to clear that energy up through from your ancestral lines. Just check in with all of that and just know that you can course correct it within your experiences and move through it mentally and emotionally, because it does sit in the body with the extractions. Okay, so I do hope that that really helps you on with your journey. It is something that we need to speak about as energy workers, to sort of look into that. But last thing, just before we finish, is that if you do have pain within the wisdom teeth area, it is about jutting the jaw forward so that you can then release the jaw. Is actually throat chakra work. Use your breath and move the energy through. Do not take identification of the tooth holding the issue. It is nothing to do with the tooth. It is energy that's stored in the jaw. And as you push that through with your intention, you can move the energy through with that intention, with letting it go with an exhale of breath. If you want to contact me with this and work with me within your teeth structure, let me know. Just give me a message, book in a session with me. It's nicolalight.com. But there's a lot of data that sits in the wisdom and connecting up into third eye crown. So it's the way it is for many, many people, but just know that you can course correct it. Okay, sensitive subject here. I do hope that that serves you well with my wonderful openness to talking about my extended jawline at the moment, as I've had lots of work done, and it's gonna be for the greater good. Being guided through the journey of it, and it's okay to speak about it. It's okay to be open about it. So my ego is kicking off a bit, but I will post this one up for you all to, please let me know. Please let me know how you are with your journey with your teeth also. Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here on Nicola Light, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.